he need to get used to the power and pressure of 168 because it's different, big difference, to be honest.
Prior to the fight being made, Dmitry Bivol voiced his opinion about a possible Canelo versus Crawford fight. He said that Crawford was very skilled and intelligent, but then the size would be in favor of Canelo. Bivol, who previously beat Canelo, thought that Crawford could not manage to cope with the increased weight.
Only getting used to the power, and it's also about be mentally ready, because when people are not prepared them mentally, they like afraid or scared, you become weak, your body become weak, you know.
Kofi Jantua was not convinced that Terence Crawford would go up to 168 to fight Canelo Alvarez. To be blunt, Crawford is too good an athlete to be making such a weight jump, which is not only dangerous, but it can be devastating. Canelo is, after all, a player who has put in years to become a force to reckon with in the super middleweight division.
If I'm betting, I put my money on Canelo. Crawford, great fighter, but jumping from 47, he just fought at 54. He won, but it wasn't spectacular performance. Then you jump 60, 68. It's a different. We have weight division for a reason in boxing. Canelo comfortable at 68.
Instead, he appears to belong right at home, wrestling over what is comfortable, who is in charge, and what his own capabilities are. Crawford, meanwhile, is arriving having fought at considerably less taxing weight divisions, and Jantua emphasized that there is a threshold where physicality takes over as an important factor more than people want to acknowledge.
Crawford gonna have to do a lot in this fight to win. He have no time to be comfortable. He can't be comfortable in that ring. He gotta be on point and every minute.
Jantua cited experience in the same weight as a huge factor. Canelo has fought wars at 168, and he understands how to bring that frame into 12 rounds. Crawford, who has been unbeatable at a lower weight, will also be making his debut in this arena. The loss of that degree of familiarity, Jantua indicated, might also turn out to be the decisive measure of Crawford.
Well, Canelo is strong at that division. He's very solid. And he's been there, he grew there, he's been there for a while. He fought a lot of big guys, he's been hit by big guys. Crawford, in his case, is stepping up, jumping weight. I mean, people say, oh, he's trying to be great. Yeah, it's great to be great, but it's a tough challenge, and I respect him for stepping up to it.
There is hype surrounding this fight that is electric. Both participants are considered to be pound for pound superstars, and the difference between their fighting styles is just another reason to look forward to the match. Crawford, who has never lost and has an impressive string of victories after his breakthrough beginning at 140 and then taken to 147, wants to achieve history as the first male boxer to win an undisputed title at 3 weight divisions and the 4-belt era. Joe Rogan was filled with enthusiasm when discussing a possible fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, saying it was a fight between 2 of the all-time greats. He brought up Crawford as an exceptionally rare talent, how he is such a master of being a switch hitter, that he was even being compared to one of the most respected boxing legends of all time, Marvin Hagler.
It's going to be great. It's going to be a great fight. You're dealing with 2 all-time greats. Crawford's one of the best switch hitters, I think, since Marvin Hagler, and one of the most skillful boxers alive. And then you have Canelo, who probably isn't the same guy as he was just like a few years ago.
Right.
But still one of the greatest of all time, still has brutal knockout power.
Rogan then turned to Canelo, stating that despite the fact that the Mexican does not occupy his peak in terms of age, he is still one of the most fantastic and full-fledged boxers. Speaking about previous knockouts of Amir Khan and Billy Joe Saunders, Rogan highlighted mobile and powerful hands, which could be problematic for any opponent to this day.
If you go back to like some of his like more impressive fights from a few years ago, like the Amir Khan KO, like the Billy Joe Saunders KO, like those KO, like he's probably not that guy anymore.
Yeah.
But he's still he's still young enough that he's still like pretty close to his prime and one of the best of all time.
An even more privileged prognosis comes from a former welterweight kingpin who sparred with Crawford, Shawn Porter. Porter has had no problem acknowledging his past adversary by indicating that Crawford, with his high ring IQ and other adaptability factors, may be the holder of the answer that could break the castling that Canelo currently has over other potential opponents. He said, "I'm riding with Bud. I've been in there with him. I know what he brings, and if anyone can pull this off, it's Terence Crawford." Canelo is an X4 division champ and current undisputed ruler in the 168-pound division, and was one of the most marketable and dangerous opponents in the sport. Although Canelo has already fought more than 60 professionally, he still is in great physical condition, and he exudes an unpleasant experience of control distance, walking down his opponent and using devastating body shots that are an overwhelming threat to even such a bright fighter as Crawford. Bernard Hopkins, who did not hide his attitude to the potential clash. Hopkins used a principle that has survived the test of time, and that is size matters, and with decades worth of ring experience and one that is based on mastering the fundamentals, this principle has not been wrong. In his case, it is never about technique or roar of the crowd. It is always about what really happens when a naturally bigger fighter comes against a smaller one, especially at the highest level.
I always say, as my quote from the history of boxing, a good big man will always beat a good little man. Yeah. So I'm going with the big man.
Boxing legend Bernard Hopkins weighed in more on the side of Canelo Alvarez based on his size. Hopkins, who has never denied that he is a basic and physical fighter, had even cautioned that no matter how good a fighter is, stepping up too high in weight to face the upper crust would only get you beaten senseless. He claimed, "Size matters, always has, always will. Canelo lives at 168 and he's built for that smoke. That's a mountain Bud's never climbed." Dmitry Bivol offered a measured take on Terence Crawford's chances against Canelo Alvarez, highlighting the crucial role mindset would play. He didn't just focus on physical size or power. He emphasized how mental preparation could tip the balance for a smaller fighter stepping into such dangerous territory.
Mentality is very important also for this fight. Even his one weight class or two weight class lower, if he's mentally ready, he will be ready to get these punches and be okay with this. He could be good.
Dmitry Bivol addressed the topic of what Terence Crawford could use to win against Canelo Alvarez with great insight. He explained that it would not be enough to have a strong mind. Crawford would have to pair that mental preparation with the hard physical training. Bivol stated that going up in weight does not include trying to train harder or to trust in oneself. It is about being comfortable to get punched by larger men and to also stay confident.
He's strong mentally, yeah? And he won this fight from the core, how I see, and it gives him credit with this mentality and to get the power from 168. Par with bigger guys, he need to get punches, he need to be confident that he's okay with these punches. He need to be confident that he will go in the ring and he could get the punches from Canelo and he will be okay with this.
The thing about this fight is that the two men are different inside the ring. Canelo is a fierce, roughhouse counterpunching, granite chin with a body attack that has drained even the most skilled of moves. He is also one of the most level-headed athletes under pressure and has gotten 12 rounds with the best in different divisions. When it appeared that the debate was getting neck and neck, another icon threw in a hammer of his own, Julio Cesar Chavez. Chavez was also known to beat around the bush, so he did not play it safe and was rather bold in his judgments. He anticipated that Crawford would not be able to escape with the victory because of the tremendously large disparity of size, strength, and pressure, and when a player who towers above his age group addresses his words with the kind of finality, listeners pay attention.
Se ve una pelea muy dispareja, ¿me entiendes? Una pelea. Mira, Crawford es un gran peleador, ¿me entiendes? Eso nadie lo duda y todo el mundo lo sabemos. Pero en su peso, ¿me entiendes? Ya subir 3 divisiones es ir por el dinero, ¿me entiendes? De que le va a dar pelea, Canelo le va a dar pelea, pero de que le va a ganar, no hay por dónde.
Amir Khan, who fought both Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, has characterized Crawford as a super slippery, unpredictable, and extremely hard to read character that made the battle an antagonizing match rather than a gory one. The fact that he sees this only further muddies the waters of the current argument on skill and defensive superiority, and implies that Canelo might be bringing the strength, but Crawford could well be bringing the sort of ring IQ that cancels it.
Crawford could beat him because Crawford is a big 147 fighter and is strong as well, which a lot of people don't give him the credit for. I think that fight, if it does happen, as long as Crawford stays away and just boxes and be smart, he can win that fight. I think Crawford's a better fighter than Charlo, and he's a smart fighter as well. He switches and everything, so that would be a very good fight.
He offered what was rare and especially revealing of people with first-hand experience. Speaking as someone who had experienced both of the fights, Khan pointed out the difference between the openness of both fighters as they conducted their matches. Although Canelo possessed both power and presence, Khan did mention that he was capable of getting clean hits on the Mexican star, which indicated that though very dangerous, Canelo could still be timed and touched.
I fought them both. Like, what are the differences between them?
Canelo's strong and he's easily hit. Very easily hit, very easily. Yeah. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't even hit clean. They both hit hard because, and you could see the strength when I was fighting against Crawford. He is very strong as well. So look, yeah, but why does he need to give that much away? He's pound for pound #1 in the world. Why does he have to go for fighting Canelo?
Another former champion who did not lose during his career, Andre Ward, once a longtime supporter of Crawford, also sided with Crawford in this confrontation. Ward concentrated on training and mindset, explaining that Crawford does best when he is underestimated. He feels that Bud has always proven himself in divisions in that he adapts, dominates, and delivers. He mentioned saying, "Don't let size fool you. Crawford's a technician and a dog. He lives for moments like this. If anybody can make history, it's Bud. Crawford is the supreme strategist, greasy, diplomatic, and insidiously strong. He is able to change positions during the fight, dismantle with the help of sharp angles and precision, and be versatile like few others in the sport. He has been compared to all-time greats as he can manipulate the tempo, entice mistakes by opponents, and then correct them with laser precision." Chris Algieri provided a new dimension to the fight between Canelo and Crawford by not focusing on the power and size discussion that dominated the usual discussions. Otherwise, he focused on the psychological aspect of the combat, which is that the most concerning weapon Crawford could have is his mindset. It is not pitting the hardest you can punch or the biggest you can be, but also being how sharp you can hold when the heat is on in the mind of Algieri.
But I'll tell you this, I've seen Canelo pushed around, I've never seen Terence pushed around. So when you talk about who's going to be the boss, I've never seen anyone boss Terence Crawford. I've seen Canelo get bossed. So that just psychologically when you think about that, and this is a fight where I flip-flop on both guys because there's so many good points. Yeah, but he's 168. Yeah, but it's Terence Crawford. He's undefeated. Well, yeah, no, this guy's beating this, but you know, stylistic. Even he hits him on the arm. There's so many different things you can talk about. But from a psychological standpoint, who's fresher, who's meaner, who wants it more? You know, that's going to come into play.
Questions which are evident in a technical perspective are the following. Could the size and strength shown by Canelo overpower Crawford when he has never fought beyond 154 pounds? Or will the footwork, timing, and boxing IQ difference by Crawford cancel the pressure of Canelo and frustrate him in 12 rounds? When people think that the weight jump is too far, others claim that speed and adaptability of Crawford provide him with a chance of having a successful surprise win. In an in-depth discussion with veteran boxing writer Dan Rafael, broadcaster Ade Oladipo broke down the issue of weight and how it really affects a contested bout at the highest levels, behind the simple superficial dimensions such as height or muscular anatomy. In the initial part of the conversation, Oladipo explained that what actually matters with weight in boxing is the ability of a boxer to resist a punch, otherwise known as punch resistance. According to him, this is usually misinterpreted or ignored by the common fan.
Dan Rafael kind of made a great point when talking about sizes, because he said if you look at them two together now, they look the same size. He said people have got the idea of the size thing wrong. It's not looking at them as a physical package, it's who has absorbed the bigger shots in the weight division. So and it was good. It was a very good point. It was like Canelo has been hit by light heavyweights and super middleweights for the better part of a decade.
Basically,
he's so used to taking those shots.
Based on that, Oladipo opined that Canelo Alvarez stands a chance through his naturally heavier build, which would enable him to withstand the heavy hits past the 12 rounds of a fight. Nonetheless, he did not rule out Terence Crawford. According to Oladipo, Crawford is both mentally sharp, adaptable, and tough enough to overcome such disparities, proven to land his punches with different weight fighters.
Crawford's been hit by 140 guys and 147 guys for the best part of a decade.
Yeah.
What's Crawford going to be like? So basically, trying to say Canelo could easily absorb Crawford shots. Can Crawford easily absorb Canelo's punches?
If you're taking shots from Triple G, Sergey Kovalev, Dmitry Bivol, and you're staying on your feet, not getting hurt,
not even getting wobbled,
just literally shaking it off.
Yeah.
You can take Terence Crawford shots.
100%.
As the hype about a fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez gets bigger, there are those who do not buy the notion that it equals Mayweather-Canelo. Some analysts say that this fight is of a completely different nature in terms of intensity. It is grit and timing rather than defensive skills and fancy footwork. Robert Garcia, with his own experience in the corner owing to his years of experience, pushed back against lazy comparisons. He stressed that Canelo is a completely different boxer now, as compared to the youngster who entered the ring against Mayweather more than a decade ago. Garcia says that Canelo is smarter, more disciplined, much stronger, as well as able to adapt and break down the opponent as time goes on.
I think it's totally different. I think, Canelo was only 23, he was very young. I think this fight's gonna be great. I do see Crawford maybe pulling it off because he's got good footwork, good speed, but I don't think they're close. I don't similarize those two fights, Canelo and Floyd. I think they're just different styles. I mean, Floyd and Crawford.
Jim Lampley brought a really profound analysis of Canelo and what makes him special with the unlocked country code of decades of experience in the broadcasting booth. He was not simply admiring the success that Canelo has witnessed over the last few years, but he was actually breaking down why the Mexican is even on a different level than other athletes. It is not sheer power or head work as such. It is the way Canelo catches the opponents, disrupts their rhythm, and does not lose the control in the most difficult rounds.
Canelo still knows how to make fireworks when he absolutely has to make fireworks. But at the end of the day, he's a counterpuncher. He's a great defender. He has the most solid punch resistance of anybody in the sport. Nobody's ever knocked him off balance. Nobody's ever really knocked him down. Never been put on his back by anybody. He rides horseback every morning. His legs are the strongest in the sport. You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time Canelo beats himself. If he gets tired of all the discipline he has had to employ to make all the money he's made, if he has enough giant ranches in the Yucatan.
Most fuel was added into the discussion by Lonnie B, a former pro who sparred with Mayweather and did not think twice, calling out the similarity as invalidated. In honest words, he denied the fact that Crawford was imitating Floyd and emphasized that Crawford has his own identity in the ring. His diction was guiltless, based on real-life gym experience, and a person that knows what the difference between imitation and innovation is.
I think that's, if Canelo said that, Canelo's punch drunk. To say that Crawford, I don't care what version of Crawford we get, he's not better than Floyd Mayweather. Floyd is special in his own right. I don't think he's the greatest, but I definitely think he's top 5, top 6. You know what I'm saying? Floyd was special, man. Floyd had that it factor. Crawford is good too, but in my personal opinion, Crawford just don't have that sizzle. You know what I'm saying? I think he's been matched right in his career. But Crawford is a dog. He know how to get the job done. But I would never say he's better than Floyd Mayweather. Absolutely not.
Teofimo Lopez has stoked the fire in the Canelo versus Crawford debate, making a declaration all about him. A bet of $10,000 to Canelo Alvarez to be the winner, and he was to fight with his father, who had placed a bet on Terence Crawford. The money was not the only issue of the bet, but a sort of preview to the extreme level of involvement even elite fighters have in the matchup. In the case of Teofimo, it portrayed absolute faith in the experience, force, and prowess Canelo would have when going up against a smooth operator like Crawford on the grandest scale.
Because I would have took it over. I would have took over the show.
Who wins that fight?
I would have took over the show.
I got Canelo.
I got Crawford. Oh man,
I
that's
got
not
Canelo.
gonna happen.
What?
We bet 10,000. I want that on the table. That's not gonna happen.
$10,000?
Yeah,
Bet
we bet
10,000.
10,000. That's not gonna happen.
In the meantime, Teofimo Lopez Sr. had his reasons why he chose Crawford. Most people would base their judgment on statistics or what their coaches and pundits have told them, but Lopez Sr. would base it on something more natural, what he would witness himself. At one point in a period of time when he was with Crawford, he had a physical indication that he was worried about, something with Crawford's legs. He only had to doubt the way Crawford was conditioned and able to do it on the pound weight.
Canelo should win. This guy got to run for 12 rounds, and I seen his legs, and I even texted him. I said, man, I seen your legs, man. You're a
Who'd you test, Crawford?
Yeah, and then he said, you funny, man. You know, and me and him was just texting back and back and back. You know, I see what I see. I'm freaking. That's you know, I might not be good on pads. I might not be good on something here.
You're talking about
but I'm
good.
good. The year, but I'm good with my eyes. I'm good with my eyes, and I'm good with telling my son what to do. Because I see it, you know what I'm saying?
You glitch the matrix, bro.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? Share your thoughts in the comment section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also check out our other videos on the screen right now.